This year marks the 69th anniversary of the historic 1956 Women's March, when 20,000 women of all races defied the apartheid regime's oppressive past laws. In commemoration of that march, law enforcement groups led a march from the semi-marked square to the union buildings to raise awareness on the need for gender equality in the workplace.
We want to, as women, be as one, irrespective of the color of our badge or the shape, the color of our uniform or the shape of our badge. However, we as women are also, there's still for us a lot to do. We do not want women only to be constables and sergeants. We also want women to be in decision-making positions so that they can influence policies and they can influence also how, as a family unit, that they can also fight crime. So we want women to also be acknowledged. Although we can see we've got quite a few women here in law enforcement, however, we are still lacking when it comes to women in top positions.
Women in leadership, economic empowerment and gender-responsive budgeting were among the key topics addressed. The city of Tshwane mayor has urged government officials to be more intentional about teaching the youth about the country's legacy.
You cannot build a nation without looking back where you come from. When we talk about the Helen Josephs, when we talk about Lillian Ngoyi's, when we talk about the Charlotte Maxekes, when we talk about the Frene Ginalwas, when we talk about Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, when we talk about the Togo Didizas, we talk about the former Premier Nomvula Mokonyane. Those are the people who decided, even if it doesn't look like it's for women, I will enter anyway.
Gauteng Education MEC Madume Tshwane says talk of freedom without the empowerment of women is cheap.
Political freedom without economic emancipation remains incomplete. Our mothers fought for the right to move freely. Today we must fight for the right for every woman to participate meaningfully in our economy.
In his keynote address, Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi has acknowledged the government's responsibility to teach South African children about their history from a young age.
I'm an advocate that we need to change history that has been taught in the classroom, a real people's history that will teach our children about Albertina Sisulu, that will teach our children about Winnie Madikizela Mandela, that will teach our children about Imbogotos that have played a role for us to be here today.
Lesufi says the provincial government will address the unnerving backlog of women awaiting cancer treatment.
I'm proud that we've invested millions of rands with UNO. Is the only hospital in the entire country. This hospital is based here next to Steve Biko. It is the only nuclear hospital that treats cancer so quickly without pain, in some instances without even surgery.
He adds that the province is introducing a new phase of Nasi Spani, which will provide training for people to do work that is currently being done through tenders.
When university closes, when TVET colleges closes, mfuna wonke amalova, they must go to TVET colleges, they must go to universities. I will pay them to be taught there to paint. I will teach them. I will pay them to be trained to be bricklayers. I will pay for them to be painters. I will pay for them to be welders. And when they graduate, government will no longer go on a tender for a painter.
Lesufi has commended the work done by women in uniform protecting the country while their lives are endangered on a daily basis. For Newsroom Africa, Channel 405, I am Sitheliswa Beja in Pretoria.